Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood and sports updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. In a charged moment that sent shockwaves through the WNBA and far beyond, A'ja Wilson, the towering force and undeniable, a face of the Las Vegas Aces, found herself not just at the center of a physical scuffle on the court, but at the heart of an emotional and deeply human plea that has now reignited vital conversations about sportsmanship, fan behavior, and the treatment of Black women in professional athletics. This isn't just a story about a foul call or a few words exchanged between opponents. It's a story about respect, representation, and resilience. So buckle in, because what unfolded during the Aces' recent showdown with the Seattle Storm was more than a basketball game. It was a cultural flashpoint. And A'ja Wilson, with courage, composure, and unmistakable grace, turned an on-court collision into a national conversation. Let's start with the game itself. It was expected to be competitive. Two high-energy teams fighting for dominance in a season already brimming with rivalries. But no one anticipated the moment that would take center stage and overshadow the final score. During a high-speed possession, Wilson, known for her physical play and intense hustle, collided near the sideline with Seattle Storm guard Erica Wheeler. The contact sent Wheeler tumbling, and Wilson, in a moment of sportsmanship and instinct, immediately reached down to check on her opponent. That's when everything changed. What should have been a pause for mutual respect and recovery quickly devolved into something darker, as a vocal portion of the Storm fan base began berating Wilson with jeers, taunts, and insults. Eyewitnesses at the arena and fans online described the heckling as aggressive, disproportionate, and to many, clearly laced with undertones of racial hostility. Wilson's reaction was immediate, but not in the way you might expect from an athlete caught in a heated exchange. She didn't retaliate with anger. She didn't escalate the situation. Instead, she turned to the fans, pointed directly at the crowd, and delivered a message that echoed far beyond the walls of the arena. "Relax," she reportedly said. "It's just basketball." That calm, powerful plea stopped many in their tracks. It was a moment that revealed the emotional toll of constant scrutiny and bias, and it sparked a groundswell of support from fans, fellow players, and public figures alike. For Wilson, it was about more than that one game. It was about how players, especially women, and especially women of color, are treated by the very fans who claim to love the game. In her post-game interview, Wilson elaborated, "I just wanted them to understand that we're human," she said, clearly emotional, but composed. "There was nothing dirty about the play. I didn't push her. I didn't hurt her. I went to check on her, like anyone would. And they booed me for that?" The pain in her voice was unmistakable. Wilson, who has spent her entire career building not only her legacy as an elite athlete, but also her platform as a role model and advocate, found herself on the receiving end of something deeply personal, and she wasn't about to let it slide without context. The conversation that followed on social media was swift and fierce. The WNBA community, long known for its solidarity, rallied behind Wilson. Teammates like Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray tweeted messages of support. Fans and journalists praised Wilson for maintaining her poise in the face of hostility. And yet, as the discussion unfolded, it became clear that Wilson's experience was not an isolated incident. The issue of inappropriate fan behavior has loomed over the WNBA for years. Whether it's racially charged insults, hypercriticism of women's emotions, or outright harassment, Wilson's moment on the court was simply the latest in a troubling pattern. And here's where the story becomes even more poignant. Just weeks earlier, the WNBA had been investigating an incident during a game involving rookie sensation Caitlin Clark and veteran Angel Reese. Fans accused one another of hurling racially insensitive remarks during the match, but the investigation concluded with no substantiated claims. Still, the fact that such allegations are increasingly common highlights a larger truth. The WNBA, a league full of powerful, vocal, and talented women, is often held to a different and unfair standard compared to its male counterpart. Wilson's plea wasn't just to the fans in Seattle. It was to all of us. Trust us, she said. Let us play. Let us be who we are. Don't dehumanize us for competing hard. And maybe that's the most heartbreaking part of this entire episode. A superstar at the height of her powers, having to ask the world for something as simple and essential as respect. What's even more impressive is how Wilson's leadership shines in moments like these. She could have walked away from the situation. She could have let the boos drown out her voice. But instead, she chose to speak, clearly, calmly, and with conviction. That's what makes her more than just a basketball player. That's what makes her a role model. Throughout her career, Wilson has been known not only for her dominant performances on the court, earning MVP titles, leading the Aces to championships, but also for her advocacy off the court. She's been vocal about mental health, racial justice, and gender equality. She's founded a non-profit organization to support Black women and children. She's written about her personal struggles with dyslexia. She's shown that athletes can be more than entertainers. They can be change makers. And perhaps that's why this moment struck such a nerve. Because A'ja Wilson has given so much of herself to the game, to her team, to her fans. And yet, in a flash, she was reminded that some still see her as just a body on the court, not a person, not a leader, not a human being with feelings. That's what hurts the most. But it's also what makes her response so powerful. As the league moves forward, there are important questions to ask. How do we ensure players feel safe and respected in every arena? How do we hold fans accountable for crossing lines? How do we use moments like this to teach empathy and elevate voices that have been ignored for too long? For A'ja Wilson, the answer lies in grace, under pressure, in leading by example, in reminding the world, one game at a time, that kindness is not weakness, that strength is not silence, and that no matter how many points you score, your greatest impact may come from the words you speak when the world is watching. So, as Wilson prepares for the next game, she does so with more than just strategy in mind. She carries the hopes of those who see themselves in her. She carries the burden of having to be more than an athlete. And yet, she stands tall, knowing that her voice, clear, emotional, powerful, can move mountains. We at Daily Gossip stand in full support of A'ja Wilson and every athlete who uses their platform to stand for dignity and humanity. This wasn't just a foul, it was a wake-up call. And thanks to Wilson, the message was heard loud and clear. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Daily Gossip for more heartfelt updates from the world of sports, entertainment, and beyond. Because here, we don't just follow the headlines, we follow the heart behind them.